I call to order the May 28th, 2024 meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Mr. Secretary, would you please take roll call this evening?
Commissioner Danielewicz.
Here.
Commissioner Pfluger.
Here.
Commissioner Hankins.
Here.
Commissioner Holmes.
Here.
Commissioner Stanton. Commissioner Klinger's here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Everybody should have received a copy of the minutes from the April 22nd meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Secretary.
You can do all those in favor.
Oh, all in favor? Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Confused me for a minute.
Sorry. Next up on the agenda, is there any communications?
No.
Okay. Moving into item number 5, ordinance number 3124 for a variance to allow an accessory structure where there is no principal structure. May we have staff report, please?
Yes, this subject property is on a vacant lot where a home had previously been located, which was demolished in 2022. There's an area up near the roadway where a home could be sited here, completely out of the floodplain, but the applicant purchased this property without the intention to build a home here. He just bought it to have a riverfront lot for personal recreational use, and he would like to build a gazebo here as well as a driveway down to the river. These things would be permitted by the Illinois Department of Natural Resources because they would not obstruct floodwater. But we cannot permit a gazebo here because that would be an accessory structure where there is no principal structure. In some situations where the applicant lives nearby and really intends to use the property as an extension of their residential lot, I have recommended approval for variances like this before, especially in the floodplain where we're trying to remove homes that may be impacted by flooding. But like I said, it is possible to construct a home here out of the floodplain on this particular lot. And the applicant actually lives about a 20-minute drive away from this property. Scattered personal recreation spaces in our residential neighborhoods is really something I recommend against allowing. Of course, this applicant can still park on the driveway here, dock a boat here, use the open lot as he likes. It is his property. But I'm afraid permitting a gazebo here could lead to unauthorized use of the property by people who may not even realize that it's not the public park space. And this may potentially impact the comfort of neighbors. So staff is recommending denial of the variance. If the village board ultimately votes to approve this, I hope they approve it with some conditions to require signage indicating that this is private property and maybe even require a chain across the driveway to discourage unauthorized use of this property. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the applicant present?
Yes, sir.
Could you please approach the podium and be sworn in?
Can you raise your right hand? Absolutely. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
State your name and address for the record, please.
Mark Taylor. My current address is 6248 Forest Preserve Road, Rock.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything additional that you'd like to add to the staff report?
Yes, when we purchased the lot, it is for our personal recreation. We have a pontoon boat. My wife and I like to go out on the river. I like to go out on the river and fish and drive up and down the river. My family and I purchased it last year. We've since removed all the rubbish that was in it. Sorry. The grass was about that tall. We had, I think, 10 dead trees on the property, some laying down, some. We removed the trees, the root, everything, took them completely off the property. Cleaned up the beach area down by the river. That was all overgrown. The neighbors was as well. So while we had the equipment, we pulled all the weeds and little sapling trees out of there and really made it look nice. The neighbors prior to that said people would park in the driveway, walk down through to the infamous P Island on the river. They'd walk through their backyards, and they said, since we've taken it over and I put a boat lift and a dock and a pier out there and everything, they said, since we put that in, the people aren't parking there. They see somebody owns the place and they aren't traveling through their backyards, which they like. And we cleaned it all up and removed all the dead trees and brought the property back to looking nice, I guess. So, we're putting in a patio down there, and it's just, we wanted to put up a gazebo that we could get out of the sun, because we like going down there with our family, go out on the river, come back, have a grill there and cook some burgers or something and sit there. I'm sure you could check with any of our neighbors. They've been very happy with everything we've done with it. I'm almost 64. I don't stay up late and party or anything like that down there. So, we haven't had any complaints from any neighbors about anything. They like that we've made it look nice again, so. And reduced mosquitoes and everything else from what was there, so.
Are there any questions from the commissioners? Jay?
You attached a picture,
That's a sample. That's not what.
I know, but, oh,
Oh,
the gazebo, whatever.
Mhm.
Are you talking the garage there too, or?
No,
Just
no,
the
it's
gazebo?
all open sided.
Okay,
It's just, that's the only picture, the place we
no, that's fine.
looked to buy it from. It's a cedar post and everything. It's a nice looking, it's not a $1,000 throw up in an afternoon gazebo, you know, it's, we want it looking nice, and we want to make it add to the property value, not decrease the property value.
okay.
And you're okay with like signage and chain across the driveway?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. So like I said, since we've taken it over and kept it up, they haven't had the people parking there, and the neighbors are pretty close. It's kind of, I don't know if they have an overhead view of it. I apologize. I was talking to Carrie. I got the email this morning, so I got it tonight, actually, when I looked at my email. So
They do
We
have an
have a drawing,
overhead
yeah.
view of the property in their packets.
So it's kind of a wedge shape, if you will, and there's just the driveway up top. I don't think we're gonna do the driveway this year or anytime soon going down to the gazebo. We just wanna have that to where we can get out of the sun or the rain, whatever, when we're down there, so.
So the existing driveway is still there, but
The
but
existing
structure in the house
blacktop
is-
driveway comes in and then it just stops
Okay,
up on the hill. I know you said there's room for a house there. I don't know how big a house you could actually build. I don't know what the setbacks are.
Yeah, similar to what was there previously,
Oh, okay.
would be allowed out of the floodplain there.
And I don't know what was there. We purchased it after all of that.
Oh, gotcha.
So this is essentially what's proposed minus the garage.
That's right. He provided that as an example of what he'd like to build.
It's made out of red cedar, and it's attached to the top of it. And there's basically, I think, 6 posts, 6 foot or 6 inch by 6 inch posts open on all sides. So
Dan, did you? No, go ahead.
What are your electricity usage? What are you thinking about lighting or anything? I'm just concerned about lighting up
no,
a
you know,
dark area.
I called ComEd a while back and nobody ever got back to me about it to see if there was a way to get electricity, but without a house there. I don't know if they could put a stub or anything, but we're not really worried about electricity because
Yeah.
generally at dark, we might have a bonfire or something.
Yeah,
But we're going home early. We're not really concerned about having electricity down there.
yeah, because I don't think you would want to light that area up. I can't imagine neighbors
No.
across the river or.
No.
Or,
No, I have the only light on the property is down by the boat dock. We have a couple on the boat dock
Oh, yeah.
itself.
Solar
We have the
powered.
Solar.
Yeah.
And we have one on the pole where if somebody pulls up, it turns on for 10 minutes and goes off or something.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
No other conversations. So to open up discussion, can we have a motion to approve item 3124?
So move.
And a second?
I'll second.
Okay. And, okay, and discussion.
So it's without sides and walls and stuff. Is it still considered a structure
Yeah,
by ordinance? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
So Carrie, yeah, since it's a permanent structure, does he need a drive going to it or not?
no, he does not need a drive to this. He doesn't intend on driving down to it. If it were a garage with an overhead door, we'd want a
Then it would.
driveway because they're clearly
But-
going to be driving and parking
Yeah,
something. in
so
there.
permanent structure and a garage, they're classified as two different things.
Yeah, not everything, not
Gotcha.
every structure is something you're going to park in.
Well, and I believe he said he was going to do a drive, just not this year.
Right.
Is that what I heard
Yeah, we're not sure.
in the future
We had
possibly?
talked about a drive just because the property has a ramp, a boat ramp on it.
Okay.
And
If you're gonna talk, you gotta
Sorry.
come to the
Oh,
mic.
sorry.
My fault.
the property has an existing boat ramp. We use it to put the boat in and then the boat goes on the lift and, so it's not like it's used a bunch. So we said, well, do we really need to? And there was talk about you would have to make it out of blacktop or concrete, and seeing how that's in a floodplain and the water getting underneath it, I don't think either one would last very well
Okay.
with a couple floods, so.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Is this something that's typically posted, like on the property as far as neighbors go? and
Yeah,
everything?
whenever we,
Okay.
all of our zoning, everything that comes to you guys is posted on the
Yeah,
property.
all the notices were
Public
the same
notice.
as everything.
Okay, that's what I figured. I just wanted to confirm.
So if it's in a floodplain,
We don't have a flood.
They can rebuild
map,
that?
do we?
They can build
Bring
the
it
house,
up.
but it would be up.
Yeah, the
Well,
house
out
would
of
be
the
in
flood.
the
Yeah,
floodplain.
Yeah.
that's out of the flood.
okay.
Should be able to, right?
Okay.
And this type of structure is allowed because it wouldn't restrict anything if the water is.
According to
taken up.
the
That's right.
Basically flood.
Dan, I'm sorry, were you?
No, we brought up a floodplain map before, but maybe you just answered. Is it in the floodway?
It is in the state regulated floodway is where he proposes putting this.
And obviously the house was in or out of
It
the
was,
flood?
the house was out.
The house was
It
out.
goes uphill.
Okay.
And he already did reach out to the IDNR to confirm that they would approve this
Yeah,
as
I
a
see there.
minor non-obstructive activity.
Okay. Good homework. Thank you.
If there's no other discussion, do the commissioners agree with the findings of fact?
Yes.
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 I have a hard time with
Well-
number 2 and number 5. I guess fundamentally, I don't see the difference, other than the private usage. I don't see the difference between this condition and if the village were to put up a similar type shelter on some of the recreational land that we purchased down on the river.
Well, and if it was village property, we have our own park rules.
Yeah, it would be a
And-
park as opposed to a residential property where you build homes. That's what this is for. It's an R1 property and you're supposed to build a house on it, as opposed to an accessory structure without a house.
But it's an unbuildable property because of the floodplain.
Oh, it is.
No,
buildable.
there could be a home up out of the floodplain, near the street where the original home was, is out of the floodplain. And we wouldn't be policing this area like we would our public parks that have park rules, have closing times and things like that, because this is private property.
We'll note for the record, though, your disagreement with 2 and 4. Okay.
Okay,
2 and 5.
2 and
I'm sorry,
5.
2 and 5.
Two and five.
Sorry.
Okay, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Pfluger,
Yes. Excuse me. Yes.
Commissioner Hankins,
Yes.
Commissioner Klinger's a yes. Commissioner Danilevich,
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes,
Yes.
Okay, this will go forward with a positive recommendation to the Planning and Economic Development Committee meeting on June 3rd at 5:30. You should probably attend that. Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you. Next up on the agenda, item number 6, ordinance 3224, special use permit for outdoor storage in the light industrial district. May we have staff report, please?
Yes, Hennig Inc. now owns an industrial property east of I-90, and like many of their other properties, they hope to designate an outdoor storage area where they can store generator components. This would not be detrimental to the surroundings in any way, and staff recommends approval of the special use permit with 5 standard conditions that we recommend that are listed in your staff report. There's other properties out here in this particular subdivision that already allow outdoor storage here.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone here to speak on this item?
Please raise your right hand. Please solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Yes, I do.
State your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Mark Bennett. My home address is 603 Dickerson Drive, Winnebago, Illinois. The company's address is 9900 North Alpine Road, Chester
Okay,
Park.
thank you. Is there anything additional you'd like to add to staff report?
No, not really. This would be very similar to the one that's on 8181 Burden Road. We have a special use permit there too for storage.
Okay. Are there any questions from the commissioners?
No.
Okay, thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you.
To open up for discussion, may we have a motion on this one, item number 3224?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second, okay. Is there any discussion necessary? Okay. Do the commissioners agree with the findings of fact?
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, and a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Holmes,
Yes.
Commissioner Danny Levitch.
Yes.
Commissioner Klinger is yes. Commissioner Hankins,
Yes.
Commissioner Fluger.
Yes.
Okay, this will go forward with a positive recommendation to the Planning and Economic Development Committee meeting on June 3rd. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Next up on the agenda, item number 7, ordinance number 3324, variance from a rear setback requirement for a pool. Staff report, please.
This is a situation where a pool was installed at the subject property by a previous owner without a permit. Now the current owner removed the pool that was in disrepair and had no idea there would be an issue with getting a permit to put a new pool in the same location. But because the pool is less than 10 feet away from the home, it does need to be at least 30 feet away from the rear property boundary. These are the setback regulations for all accessory structures, and pool is an accessory structure in residential zoning. The pool would only be 16 feet from the rear property boundary rather than the required 30 feet. There was already a pool in this location for about 20 years, and it was not an issue that ever came to the village's attention. It is not expected to be an issue going forward, so staff is recommending approval of the setback variance.
Okay, thank you. Danielle Marshall, are you here to please approach the podium and be sworn in?
Can you raise your right hand? Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Name and address for the record, please.
Danielle Marshall, 1015 Bunting Drive in Chesney Park.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything additional you'd like to add to the staff report?
No, just like Carrie said, the pool has been there for 20 some years. When I purchased the property, it was already existing. It was in disrepair. It needed to be either replaced or just completely taken down. So we decided to replace it. We are not moving it. We are not expanding. We are not doing anything different, but we already took the structure down and we are replacing the pool in the exact same spot that it has been in for 20 some years. So.
Okay. Any questions from the commissioners?
No.
Okay. Thank you. You may be seated. Is there anybody else who would like to speak on this issue? Please approach.
Wait,
hold on.
Can you raise your right hand?
Yep.
Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Name and address for the record, please.
Pete Camello Jr. I'm at 1074 Knightsbridge Drive Machesney Park, Illinois, directly behind them.
Okay.
All right, so, man, quite a lot we could talk about, right?
Wait,
Uh,
let's
uh,
direct your comments to
Yes.
the board, stop turning
Okay,
around,
no problem.
and just state your position.
So the pool looks good. I agree. They did a great job. I have no problem with where it is. Issues I do have, the dogs barking and being yelled at over my fence. I would have no problem with the pool staying there if we get a privacy fence put up to where I'm done getting yelled at, because I closed on that property December 28th. A couple times it's been an issue. There's 16 or 17 dogs within 6 houses around me. 4 over at the house next door to her, which is city ordinance is 3, right? Had a couple one-on-one confrontations, discrepancies, whatever you want to call it, trying to say, hey, I can't deal with the dog at 5:20, 5:30, 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30, until noon, every morning. It's more than just dogs barking, it's a nuisance.
Okay.
Okay, to be clear, you're not objecting to the pool.
The
you have
pool
other issues.
It's okay. The other thing is I have an electric pole here, electric boxes here, 2 electric boxes in my backyard. I worry that pool floods and may cause an issue there. Aside from wanting a privacy fence, so there's no more interactions. If she has company over, I don't want them yelling over the fence. I don't, vice versa, right? I just want privacy, as well as I'm sure they want privacy too. I would like to recommend a fence, and I'd be fine with anything they do over there. Keep it on your side. I'm keeping my stuff on my side, right? I mind my own business. She minds her own.
Okay.
The pool looks great. It don't look shabby. They did a great job. Their backyard is great. It's just, I get along with all my neighbors, right? We've had a couple things where we don't see the same level, which it's okay. I get that. People don't always see eye to eye, but there's got to be a resolution where we come up and make a mutual agreement to where we both agree upon something, right? It's her property. I don't want to be the jerk that says, no, no, no. I just want to be able to get along, get my sleep, run my father's shop that's battling dementia. I need sleep. That's important. I don't care what anyone
Okay.
does on
I
their
think we
property.
understand your
Yep.
position.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
No one else has signed up to speak. Okay, to open up for discussion, can we have a motion to approve agenda item 3324?
Motion to approve.
And a second?
Second.
Okay.
Public comment's been closed.
Oh.
Did you,
They have a section. Should I come up there?
I guess?
There is one panel of privacy fence that's already up. They have the whole side down, came one panel, so if they were to continue that through, it'd look beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
Right?
Thank you. Okay, and discussion from the commissioners on this.
Hadn't been an issue for 20 years, so
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, and it's in the exact same spot that it was previously.
Isn't there already regulations for fences around a pool?
Well, this is an above ground pool and there is a fence around the yard.
Okay,
It
So there's a fence
it
around.
complies with
Okay.
what's
That's
required.
compliant.
complies with fence rules
Yeah.
right now.
Mhm.
Any other conversation?
No,
Do the commissioners agree with the findings of fact?
Yes.
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 Okay, and roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Klinger is a yes. Commissioner Hankins,
Yes.
Commissioner Pfluger,
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes,
yes.
Commissioner Danny Levitch.
Yes. So this will move forward with a positive recommendation to the Planning and Economic Development Committee meeting on June 3rd at 5:30. And you should probably attend that meeting. Okay, so that's it for all that. Is there any other business? Any other public comment? Okay, any other business to discuss from the board? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
I.
Aye. And we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
All right.